Hi and welcome to the show. Nneka's story was so powerful, I just couldn't fit it all into one episode. So sit back and enjoy part 2 of this amazing woman's incredible journey. What was it, what type of music did you want to play? I mean, did you have a purpose for doing music? Was it just to kind of hang out and have fun? Or was there actually a purpose to tell a story, to tell your story or the story of Nigeria?
All I needed at that time was sanity. And for a young kid, being in a place where, you're not at home, you have no connection to this new culture, you don't really speak the language. I just needed some sort of branch, some sort of sanity to know that I'm alive. Still, I'm okay, you're not dreaming, you're here, this is you. So that's what I did. I would sing to myself. What I wanted to do was, first of all, it was just more like the love for music. And then I remember getting in touch with a group called The Chosen Few. We called ourselves The Chosen Few when I became part of the group. And I met a young man from Haiti. Haiti, and he told me, you need to write your lyrics. You sing your diary. If you don't write your own lyrics, what do you want to say?
Yeah, doesn't
you
mean
can't
anything.
sit there and sing Bob Marley or sing Lauryn Hill. Okay, I loved all these artists, and I saw their engagement, for what they'd been doing. I wanted to be, if I ever was going to be an artist, I wanted to be an artist that had something to say and had something to give. Plus, I believe in higher power. I believe in God, and I'm driven by my faith. And I know there are many people who need something to hold on to in this life. And I just wanted to be that voice.
Nneka, tell me about going to a strange country, Germany in this case. Where do you find that, what do you see as the opportunities? You obviously made it for yourself through whatever, the turmoil that you went through and the hard times that you went through. You eventually made it to yourself, and then you came back home. You decided you got to come back home. Was that always the plan, to come back home? Or did you feel that you would actually one day settle outside of Africa?
The thing about me is it sounds really awkward. I think everybody should have a plan, but in my case, I just never have a plan.
Just wing it.
I wing it and I do my best while winging.
Okay.
So I focus on the present and make sure I didn't think I was going to stay forever in Germany. I didn't think I was ever going to be or see Nigeria again. I just knew at that very point in time, this is what I am facing right now. This is the new situation. I want to learn the language. I want to know what this culture is all about. So I went and studied. I want to know more. I have access to education. I have access to free library. I have access to the knowledge on Africa. Our museums within Nigeria do not have these archives.
Yes.
Everything was there. It was like gold. Why would I turn my back and say, okay, I want to go sell drugs on the street?
So coming back here, what do you tell young people that now look up to you as a mentor, somebody that they admire? What do you tell them about opportunities on this continent? Do you tell them to stick around and do that? What do you tell them to do if they're confused in terms of school?
Yeah, well, agriculture is one of the biggest right now. Oil is almost like outdated because it's still there, but it'd be like say the oil go finish, the way the Nigerian people will say. So, whether it be agriculture, whether it be, like you said earlier on, IT.
Would you tell young people to go into music if that's their passion? Do you think you can make a career from music now in this day and age?
It depends on why you go into music. I feel, and I think that people should be driven. If it's music, have something to say, and don't just go into it because you think it's a money earning thing, a place. Anything you do,
If you do it well, you can earn money.
Well, exactly, yeah. But like Fela would say, if it's only about the money, you will fall fast. Because money does not make you happy. Maybe for a while, yeah, first class, nice house, but then, I don't know.
Nneka, leadership. We've touched on you coming back here. One of your most influential songs, famous songs called Africans, talks a lot about leadership. Was that geared towards a message geared towards African leaders of today?
Yes, yeah.
And what I mean,
African
when you
leaders-
came back here, what did you see that made you write a song like that?
Well, funny wise, I was in England when I wrote that song. And I was in a restaurant, a Nigerian one.
Of course.
And I had not been back home in Nigeria for a long time, for over like 5 years or so. And this was my first, this was like, because a lot of Nigerians in London. So it's almost like, I don't know, we call it the small Nigeria. So I'm in this restaurant and I see plastic tablecloth, I see plastic flowers, I see, it's very, very ruggedly organized. It is not a restaurant like a restaurant where you go in and there is customer service and there's a smile on the person's face who is serving you. Or, you know what I mean? So it was very like the way because I worked in I call it a food booth when I was in Warri, when I was growing up, where we used to serve people who come, it's like a side booker, a side street booker, that's what we call it. So it was just like that, but a bigger version of it. And nobody's smiling, and nobody, I was like, why would we carry that personality, how many miles across the ocean?
Yeah.
We need to evolve. So that was the inspiration for this. It's really awkward that the song like that got written because I was eating egusi soup in London somewhere, you know. But then I had to like portray it on the way we are, the way we also see ourselves as Africans, and what we blame a lot the colonial masters, I would say, for what we are today. But I believe, I know that it is about time that we take responsibility.
It's been over 50 years.
Exactly, we take responsibility for our actions. And in fact, we're using the same strategy, the same
Divide and rule.
divide and rule to rule ourselves. So it's now no more an Oyibo, I like the way they say it, suppressing a black person, but we are doing it ourselves. We're just continuing. Our constitution is still, we still sing the English anthem, the one they gave us back then, you know?
So where do you see the future of, where do you see the next generation of leaders coming from on this continent? Because you have an old generation of Africans that are leading. Not all of them are bad, but when people in their 70s and 80s are running countries where the majority of the population is in their teens or their early 20s, there has to be a disconnect between what is happening at the higher areas of power and what is happening on the ground. How do you bridge this gap when young people are not allowed or don't have opportunities to get into political power or leadership?
Well, I would like to rephrase what I said earlier on. Not everything is necessarily negative, like it's not like we do not have African people or Nigerians or Africans who once lived in diaspora who come back home to make a difference. It's not like we don't have these people trying to make a difference. We have a lot of ambitious, intelligent, motivated young people who are making a difference. It's just that nobody's talking about it, but on a global, on a global level of vision or perception, like you said, there's a lot of older leaders in power I just think that we as, I mean, the young ones need to speak our minds, create platforms where we are able to express our opinion about what is happening, or the ideas that we have, or the change that we think should happen, the ideas of the change that we think should happen, to be able to create a platform where we could share those ideas with our leaders, and peacefully. That's another thing.
That's a very key point as
Peacefully.
Yes.
Because we're all we're also very fearful. That's another thing, where we're respectful, but our respect is fear. Like, everybody's afraid to express themselves. Once you express, there's a policeman who is coming to shut you up. So we need to find a language where we exchange our ideas and get our points across respectfully.
We'll be right back with Nneka. Stay with me. Hi, welcome back. I'm here with Nneka. Tell me a little bit about Rope, because that's one way that you're making a huge difference. Tell me about Rope and the foundation, how it started, why it started, and what your plans are with it.
Well, the Rope Foundation is an NGO. It's created by Ahmed Nye, who is Liberian, Sierra Leonean musician, and myself. And
what does Rope stand for our viewers?
Reach out, promote, empower. And we use arts, music as a platform to create awareness on critical social issues, and also provide a space where less privileged, or artists, not just less privileged alone, but people who have something to say, to use that space to express themselves. We've also worked with other NGOs, the AWDF in Ghana, which is the African Women's Development Fund, mainly focused on women and providing microcredits for these women to also create their own businesses. And then we went to Sierra Leone as well. We did a workshop where we used tailoring and fashion as a kind of like a psychological approach to understand the mindsets of the women who had been involved in war, right. Ex-soldiers, and also sexually abused.
And do you do stuff in Nigeria, Boko Haram, or in those areas where, has that been part of your work?
Not Boko Haram yet, but we've done some work in the Niger Delta.
Obviously, that's home for you, so you have a very strong connection to that.
Yeah, and with young children in Ajegunle, which is like a kind of like a ghetto area of Lagos. Yeah.
Have you been back home recently, and do you go back home? Do you see your siblings and stuff? Or you said before that you're all kind of spread out now, but do you still stay in touch with them? Do you still have that? Do you get together like every Christmas or things like that?
We don't have that get together, but we definitely make an effort to be in touch with one another. And
so you're not banned from the house anymore.
No,
you're okay. That's sorted now.
Things have changed,
yeah.
And also forgiveness is key in life. Love is important, that we look beyond things that happen or that we choose to happen. That's another thing. You can't. Sometimes when you think you're the victim, you are the perpetrator. You're the one who is actually creating the issue. You know what I mean? So we also need to stop seeing ourselves as victims in Africa. That's another thing. We should always stop playing the ones who need help.
And how do you when you talk to young people and you give them these messages, how do you tell them that to stop being a victim? Do you use your own life as an example?
I'm still in the process of learning myself. I've not reached the place of complete healing or complete zenness. That's why I do music.
You find music heals you or gives you a certain amount of healing?
It gives me enlightenment, but not healing. Well, I being on stage, I think I'm also very open and not just vulnerable, but like I'm open. So I make people I like the audience to know that, listen, it's okay to
Be vulnerable.
it's okay to be. It's okay to not wear makeup. It's okay to express yourself.
Do you find that we are very hesitant, reluctant to express ourselves as people on the continent, that we are always trying to fit someone else's perception of
Yeah.
us or how we think
Yeah.
they would be happy seeing us?
Yeah, we've been domesticated from day one. We've been manipulated to function in a certain way by the system, trained. Hence, if you show symptoms of abnormality, you are a threat to the entire state of the system. When you wake up from your domesticated dream, you will be like me, in a state of confusion, but also in a state of almost like sorry to say, this sounds really sexual, but a state of very long orgasm. So you need to figure out the equilibrium between your long orgasm and what you've been trained to be, to domesticated you. Or find a new dream, your individual dream. And that's where I'm at. Finding your individual dream that does not threaten the dream of another person. And yeah.
Is there a balance like that though? I mean, you make it sound like it's possible, but really, is there a balance like that? I mean, how do you balance your personal and professional life? Is there a difference between the two? Do you have a time for yourself when, it's just you, it's not about the Nneka, the public figure, it's just you, the person? It's not about the music, it's not about anything like that. How do you balance your personal and professional life? Do you have people that you can sit down and just be yourself with?
I'm always myself, that's the thing, and I think that's the problem.
So
like right now, cameras go off, I'm still the same person. Yeah, but I've also learned that it's important that you also create, barriers and space. Maybe that's what I need to do with a place where you
because
just
people
keep
can also
out.
use that against you if you expose yourself so much to them.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's happened as a public figure, that's even more dangerous.
Well, Gandhi was always Gandhi. Jesus Christ was always Jesus Christ. Those are the people I look at. So whoever says, this is me, man. This is one life, cameras on, cameras off. I am who I am. And I think that's what everybody should be. Don't be afraid to be who you are, as long as you're not hurting someone else's dignity whilst expressing your freedom. And break out of your domesticated dream of the system and, do your best. That's important. I'm in a place where, or I'm trying at least, where this is what I say. It's the 4 agreements. Be impeccable with your word. Do your best at all times. Never take anything personal. And I've forgotten the last one.
And don't forget number 4.
It will come up. But it's something positive. Yeah. So it's about respect and not being afraid.
When's the last time you were afraid?
Afraid?
Yeah.
I'm always afraid. I mean, not being afraid, embracing your fear, because you can never really get rid of fear, right?
We'll be right back with Nneka. Stay with me. Hi, welcome back. I'm here with Nneka. Nneka, what are the things you're most proud of, Nneka, in terms of your accomplishments, in terms of things you've done, or just in terms of you personally? What would you say you're most proud of up to this point in your life?
I'm a kind person. That's what I'm proud of. I like that part of me that I'm proud of the fact that I don't stay angry at people, no matter what. I could say I'm proud of my career and all those things, but those are not, to me, it's the exchange between human beings, because that's what makes life, yeah, right? So I'm proud of that.
Some quick fire questions before we get into deep stuff. Book, article, magazine, or movie, something you've seen, read, that has significantly changed your life?
I'll say The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. That's a book.
Amazing book.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know it?
Yes.
I'm sure you do. Movie? The Alchemist? No, not The Alchemist, sorry. The Devil's Advocate. It's an old movie, but that's exactly what life is right there. Like, The Devil's Advocate is... There I realized that, if you're at the crossroad, how do I say? For instance, you make a bad decision, or you're in a bad situation. The devil in the movie, it's like he always gives you a choice to make a decision. So you can't blame it on the devil and say, oh, the devil made me or put me in this situation. You choose. So just realizing that we always have the decision to make a choice in life. Options. So that's that.
Favorite food?
Yeah.
Are you a foodie?
Pounded yam. Yeah,
Are you a
I am
foodie?
a foodie. I cook. I love to cook.
What do you like cooking?
I like to cook pounded yam, egusi, which is our traditional food. A lot of vegetables, and I'm a vegan, but these days, but I still like to use our traditional ingredients.
What were you eating in that restaurant when you wrote Africans?
That time I was still eating meat. I was tearing my stockfish apart and shrimp.
Vacation, you don't do a lot of that, but if you were to go, favorite vacation spot on the continent? You've traveled a lot. Where's your favorite place in Africa?
Oh, in Africa. I thought I found a place. It was Grand Bassam in Côte d'Ivoire. But then when the attack happened, 3 months after I had found this wonderful place,
You haven't been back since?
It just broke my heart. I like Zanzibar. Yeah.
Are you a beach, safari?
I like the beach. I love the water. The water always has to be close by.
The future, Nneka. Still young woman. You still have, God willing, many, many years to go.
Amen.
What's next for you? Projects, rope? What's next for you?
Right now I'm working on an album. So the next album should be out, by God's grace, February, March.
Is it a solo album? Mm-hmm. Do you collaborate with a lot of artists? You have in the past, but do you do that now so much?
If I want to. Yeah. Do you know these days you have to pay for collaborations? It's awful. They're like, yeah, my artist is bigger than you, so what's in for it? It's really hurtful. It's painful. But not just negative. I mean, if Jay-Z would ask me to collaborate with him, I'll probably ask him for money too. I'll be like, bro, man, what's
Help me out here.
Come on now.
Help a sister out.
Help a sister out. Share some love. But if it's an artist that is a bit less popular.
So, who would be your ideal artist to collaborate? I mean, living or dead? Somebody that you would have, just done anything to sing with.
Wow. I don't know. I think I would have liked to hang around Bob Marley a little bit, but not too much. because he would have.
The dope, yeah.
No, not that. Just not that. But maybe I might have ended up as one of his baby mamas. So I just need to keep myself a little bit to the side.
So it would have been a quick collaboration.
Same for
Hit
Fela.
single.
No, but I would have loved to like collaborate with Nina Simone. Definitely.
The show's called The Scoop now.
Scoop.
The Scoop. I asked my guests to tell me something about them that hopefully nobody in the world
You know a
knows.
lot about me now.
I know a lot about you now.
In fact, you've scooped me for how many hours?
But I want that one thing that nobody in the world knows. That your siblings and others watching this will say, man, we did not know that about our sister.
Okay, when you're touring, I'm really a rugged person, man. I'm very rugged.
We know you're real.
Okay, I don't shave my legs all the time. How about that? For instance. Is that just one thing? You want more?
If you have one
Tell
more,
you more
yeah,
stuff?
please.
Really?
Please. The more the merrier.
I don't always shave my legs.
I don't shave my
one.
legs either.
Yeah, you're a man. What else? Sometimes you don't have the laundry, like when you're touring, like, you don't have a place to wash. So I wash my pants by myself, hand wash, and just hang it. How about that? That's too deep.
No, it's not.
Some people just keep their dirty stuff for like 4 months in their baggage.
Do you keep your dirty stuff for 4 months?
No, I can't. So that's the thing. So if we're done with the show, I'm touring in a tour bus, I make sure I hang the stuff around the bus. And we're cool like that.
That's the clean, hairy scoop with Nneka. Join me again next week when I'll be talking to yet another great African personality. From me and the entire team of The Scoop from Nairobi, Kenya, thanks for watching. Nneka, it's a real pleasure, a real honor. Thank you very much.